orchids are, finicky sort of plant. Each leaf is a plant. Each leaf is a plant.
Each leaf is a plant.
Yes. Vanda tessellata from Kerala.
Vanda tessellata from Kerala.
Kerala, yes.
Okay. Hello friends, this is me Harshal. I'm here in Bangalore with Sanjeev Dharwal ji's wide collection of orchids. He has been growing orchids for a very long time. So thank you so much, sir, for inviting me over here to your wonderful collection of orchids. Let's talk about your orchids, about your experience and everything about your plants.
So these are some of my collection of orchids.
Okay.
And some of these are native, some are imported from Thailand, and some of these orchids are given by my friend who comes down from Australia.
Okay.
So, like this is a Dockeria species from Australia, and these are all, of course, native to our Western Ghats.
So before getting into your orchids, just give me a basic introduction about orchids. What are orchids and how many types of orchids are there, and how many orchids are you growing with yourself?
See, orchids are, a very finicky sort of plants, but they have evolved over a period, and you will find orchids growing on top of trees, what we call epiphytes, some growing on the land, which are called terrestrials, and
Okay.
some even growing on rocks, which are called lithophytes.
Okay.
So majority of what I have are epiphytes, which grow on. Actually, epiphyte means foot in the air. So terrestrials, of course, is understood from that term itself, that they grow in soil.
Yeah.
But then again, their conditions have to be very conducive. They grow where the leaf mold and all is there, the humus rich soil,
Right.
and under shade. They don't like much of light because they grow on the floor of the forest. Whereas epiphytes, lighting can vary depending on the place where they grow on top of tree, either on the canopy or under the shade. So their lighting condition differs according to that.
So since how long you are growing orchids?
I have been growing for last 1 decade, you can say.
1 decade.
One
Okay.
decade.
How many varieties do you have?
Maybe I'll have 200-300 orchids. as of now,
200-300.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you have over 500 orchids. Well, let's start talking about your orchids. What are the orchids which you are growing here?
See, this section I'm growing Vandaceous.
Okay.
So Vandaceous are mostly growing on top of trees.
Okay.
And they do not like any media. That's why they love their roots in the air. So that's why nothing is required. So they
Right.
are grown in an open basket, and roots are allowed to grow.
So they are growing in the open basket,
Open
and
basket.
there is no media or any
Yeah,
such
nothing,
kind
nothing.
of thing.
Only very few where the roots are not there or very small roots are there. I'll use some media like this.
Okay, these are like pumice stones.
Yeah, pumice.
And nothing up.
Nothing
else.
Nothing else.
Okay.
Sometimes if you want them to lava up also, I use sometimes.
Okay.
So this also holds water
Okay.
because they are porous. Otherwise, they love to grow like this, roots in the open air.
So many roots are there on these orchids.
See, healthier the roots, better the plant will be.
Okay.
So,
And I see one of them is blooming as well.
Yeah, this is a hybrid which is in bloom right now.
Wow. This must be like 8-9 feet long,
Yeah,
including the
the roots.
yeah.
Let
roots.
all of them.
Very interesting.
And see, except for Antarctica region, the plants, orchids are found everywhere. See, this is one of the terrestrial from Africa.
Okay.
Stenoglottis.
This is a terrestrial orchid.
Terrestrial orchid. Yeah.
Okay. That means it will love media, soil.
Soil, yeah,
Rich.
but again, humus rich soil.
Okay.
So organic matter should be there, but
Right.
water should not stay.
Okay.
It should not be locked. Then there are some other species what I grow. This is Dendrobium from our northeast. Anceps, Dendrobium anceps. Then here are some of the orchids from various regions. Some Indian, some hybrids, and some of see, this is one of the plants which I like very much because of its foliage. They have very tiny flowers, but I'll growing it because of its foliage, because I like it. And this is
Yeah.
Dockeria. Some are species and some are hybrid. These are Australian species. See, this is again, just out of flask, few months back.
Wow. I see only 2 or 3 leaves,
Yes.
and
See, each leaf is a plant.
uh,
Each leaf is a plant.
each leaf is a plant.
Yes.
Wow.
See, this is again.
So here each leaf is a plant. Such interesting setup.
See, this is again Dockerelia linguifolia.
So guys, this is how orchids are grown here.
This is on Cork Park. These are again Australian species. See, these are all Australian species. This one, Dockerelia cucumerina. This is again longifolia. So if you see dendrobiums, it's very difficult to define their shape because you'll find it in many shapes. See here, you see the foliage.
Yeah.
This is again dendrobium. This is also dendrobium. This is also dendrobium.
Right.
So Dockerelia earlier was called dendrobiums only, but then later on it was made as a separate class itself,
Okay.
Dockerelias. This is again dendrobium. They all have very tiny flowers which last for few hours. See, each leaf has got one single bulb.
So tiny flowers which last for only few hours. Few hours.
Yes.
Okay.
And quite fragrant they
So you have to be here to watch them bloom.
if I am lucky.
If you're lucky, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
get to see them. These again some of the
So has
Australian-
it ever happened to you that you have taken off from your work just to look at the blooms on the orchids?
Unfortunately, no. But sometimes if I see that buds are forming,
Yeah.
I take them to my office so that
Okay.
I have the pleasure of seeing them blooms opening. So some of these species, whatever why I'm saying Australian, so they not only from Australia, they are also found in Papua New Guinea.
Okay.
So these are some dendrobiums from that region. Here, some of the majority of them are from my friend
Okay.
who is in Australia. When he comes down, he gets some plants for us. So we have a group. We go exploring orchids in
Okay.
Western Ghats also.
What do we have here? And this one looks interesting.
This is again the Vandaceous species.
Okay.
This is called Lucia.
Okay.
Lucia. This one is that Zelanica. Lucia zelanica.
Okay.
So these are some of the dendrobiums from our country. This is Secundum, which is from Andaman Islands. This is Parishii, again
Okay.
from northeast. This is again northeast plants. This is a Lindley or aggregatum. This is called Zenicae.
Okay. And I see some of them are blooming here.
Yeah, this is Encyclia. These are all from Latin America.
Latin America.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is again Brasol or Nodosa. These flowers are very fragrant in the evening time.
Okay.
And here I have Vanda tessellata. Tessellatas are found across the peninsular India, right
Okay.
from northeast to down south.
So this is Vanda tessellata.
This is from Jamshedpur city.
Jamshedpur,
Steel city.
okay.
Yes, steel city of Jamshedpur. You see the flower colors and the lip is pink. You will find grayish purple color flowers and bluish lip. As you come down, towards down south, the size of flower and the fragrance.
Okay.
You will find a huge difference.
Interesting.
There are more than 100 color forms for this particular.
Yeah.
So these are some of the ground orchids. This
Ground
is
orchids.
commonly called the bamboo orchid,
Okay.
Arundina graminifolia. They are called bamboo orchid because of its shape.
Yeah, I clearly see that because
They grow like bamboos.
yeah, they grow like bamboos.
So this is one of the terrestrial orchids. This is called Ilophia andamanensis.
Okay.
So it's not visible now, and that is dwarf variety of Arundina, bamboo orchid. This is a dwarf variety.
Dwarf variety of bamboo orchid.
So this is Vanda
So we are on the other side of the setup. Okay. So what do we have here, sir?
Here this is Papilanthe terrace,
Okay.
and this is Insectivera. This is another plant, not doing very well because of some infection it got.
Okay.
So I'm trying to treat.
So these orchids also catch infections or all
yes,
kinds of
very much,
diseases.
because see, my growing area is open.
Uh-huh.
So now in winter time I don't water daily. I am watering once in 2-3 days.
Okay.
So during dry period, I have a problem of spider mites.
Okay. So do you use any chemical to get rid of those?
Yes, once
Okay.
in a while I have to spray
Okay.
insecticide
Okay.
and all. See, these are again Vanda tessellata from Kerala.
Venda tessellata from Kerala?
Kerala, yes.
Okay. Wow.
And this is Esco Centrum. Now it is clubbed with Vandas only. This
Okay.
is Schomburgia.
Huge bulbs on this one.
Yes, see this one same. These bulbs are hollow.
These bulbs are hollow?
Hollow.
Okay.
There is nothing inside that. See the weight of a dead.
Yeah.
So they have a ants, I believe, form, if there is a hole in this, they form their colonies inside this bulb.
Ants, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is one of the plants which is blooming, but this is not the very good bloom. Last time it bloomed very well for me. This is actually not the season for it to bloom.
Okay.
This is a hybrid, of course. These are all hybrids. This is Vanda cristata from northeast. So got it recently only. So
Okay.
just settling down.
Vanda cristata?
Cristata.
Okay. Does it have a crested shape or where does
Flowers
the name
are
come
flowers
from?
are what.
Flowers are okay, different.
And here I have some more Vandas growing. This particular Vanda is from Kerala. It has got green olive color flowers.
Okay.
So very beautiful flowers. And
Very
this
nice.
is Cristansonia vietnamica. It's got green color flowers. And
Okay.
it blooms. The flowers are very beautiful.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it just 2 or 3 flowers at a time it gives, and very fragrant.
Uh-huh.
When I got this plant, it was
Okay.
had totally infected with the fusarium. So
Oh.
somehow I have managed to keep it alive, and now it's doing somewhat okay.
So I guess none of the plant is hassle free. There are
When you
some
bring it,
challenges with
yes.
every plant.
The sad part is we don't have any what should I say, nurseries and all propagating plants, orchids in India. Most of the plants what we have here are imported from Thailand.
Okay.
So whatever big plants what they sell, 100% you can be rest assured that they will be suffering, having some infection or the other. Until unless you treat it, they will not survive.
Okay, right.
So these are also some of the plants what I am keeping here. This is Dendrobium from northeast. This is Chrysotoxum.
Okay.
I have a huge size clump with me here. And here I have Farmeri. This is also a big clump, but yet to bloom. And here I have some Oncidiums. These, when they flower, each spike is 6 to 7 feet tall.
Oh, interesting.
And some of the African species or sub-Saharan species I have. This one is Ilophia.
Huge bulb.
Huge ones. See, these spikes will be at least 7 feet tall when they flower. So only once it has flowered with me for last so many years.
And you're telling me this is sub-Saharan species?
Yes.
Okay.
So they like to be kept dry, not too often watered.
Okay.
And if you see the leaves,
Yeah.
serrated leaves, sharp leaves like
Very
any
sharp, yeah.
succulent leaves.
For a moment I thought this is an agave.
No, it's not. It's
Definitely it's not an agave, but yeah, it feels like these leaves are very hard.
So after flowering, I had divided the plant and repotted it.
Okay.
So it has to settle down. So few plants I gave away. One more is there.
Okay. This is the new growth?
This is a new growth and new roots are coming.
Yeah.
You can make out from the difference between old and new roots.
Definitely.
See, these are some of the hybrids. See, when you're growing plants, you want to see your plants blooming.
Yeah.
So, but with species, that doesn't happen so often.
So
That's why we grow.
you mostly focus on species.
Species, yes.
Yeah. You're right.
I prefer growing
Yeah.
more of species.
And growing species is a bit more challenging than
Yes,
growing
yes,
hybrids.
Yes, because when you take a plant from its habitat,
Yeah.
there the condition what we grow will be totally different. So
Right.
they will struggle. So you have to
Definitely.
understand their requirement and then try to bring it. You may not be able to emulate it exactly same, but something
Very well
closer
said.
to that.
Yeah.
So I have a sprinkler system. Right now I have put it off. So in summer season it will be on always.
Okay. It will be on always?
Always at
Throughout the day?
Yeah, timer is fixed.
Okay.
So at a fixed frequency it will keep on watering them.
Well, Bangalore's weather is definitely different. I'm already sweating in December here.
Yeah, December, this December is definitely not. And see, this is one of the hybrid Cattleyas blooming.
Yeah, I see. I'm not sure how much you guys can see in the video, but it is definitely a beautiful
I
one.
can pull it, bring it down, no problem.
I'll click pictures and add it in the video.
Yeah, no problem. And see, this is again Dendrobium canaliculatum from Australia. So this is blooming second time for me this year.
Oh, interesting blooms.
Yeah, very tiny flowers,
tiny
but beautiful
flowers,
flowers. If you see the flowers, small flowers, but beautiful, pretty flowers.
Yeah.
This is Dendrobium canaliculatum, it's called.
Okay.
So earlier I used to buy, maybe earlier I used to buy single plant. Now I don't do that. I buy 2 plants in case one perishes. One is always there as a standby for me.
Okay.
So here again some of the native species. Okay, this is Dendrobium microstachyium. This is a Stanopia plant. The beauty of this plant is it blooms from underneath the media, under the media. It never blooms on the top.
Okay.
So if you grow it in a closed pot, you will never get to see the flowers.
Very
Flowers
interesting.
are very big and very fragrant.
So flower emerges from the base of the plant. Okay.
That's why you have to grow it in a basket.
Okay. Interesting. So you have to know a lot of.
You know how the plant behaves.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was wondering. And I have a few questions in my mind which I would like to ask you right now. How much time do you devote, to these plants?
See, the thing is, since I am a working person,
Yeah.
it's very difficult for me to devote too much of time on orchids. Every day morning I'll just come and see and water the plants if requirement is. Summer times, of course, I do it daily.
Okay.
Only on Sundays. Sundays half day I spend with my plants.
And I would like to ask another personal question. How much support do you get from your family members?
Unfortunately, nobody is interested apart from me.
Okay.
So, see, earlier my elder daughter, when she was not married,
Yeah.
so when I used to travel, when I am a traveling person also, when I used
Yeah.
to travel, I used to request her, beg her to water my plants.
Okay.
So after much screaming, she used to
So what happens now when you're traveling and she
That's
listens?
the reason now I fixed
The sprinkler system. Okay.
So that dependency, I water my plants thoroughly before I go out on a trip,
Okay.
and the rest of the period my sprinklers will take care of.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time. I thoroughly enjoyed watching your orchids, listening
Thank you
to.
so much for coming.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.